This week on The Splash. A West Bloomfield temple fills our stomachs and our hearts. Then we forge new partnerships with our neighbors. And later, the final push to the general election. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We are a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash.
I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for being with us on The Splash. I'm Brooke Allen. Hunger affects people all over the world, including right here in Greater West Bloomfield. One local temple is doing its part to fix the problem in our community. Reporter Ryan Younglove has the story.
Here in West Bloomfield, Temple Israel hosted their monthly fresh food pantry to help feed hundreds of people and their families in need, and to make sure no one in the community goes hungry.
We hold this pantry that's free to the people in our community, and we offer free food from Forgotten Harvest. We hold the event every first and third Tuesday of the month, and all you have to do is sign in, bring an ID, and you're welcome to go through and pick out from our selection, and that's it. So we're providing food to the community, and we're a community of volunteers also.
This event has been going on for 3 years, and with the help of community volunteers, continues to grow.
It was created through Rabbi Josh Bennett and Project Healthy Community initially, in terms of feeding the hungry that are living in our area. It's not just an urban issue; it's an issue community-wide, and there was a need. And clearly, we have usually between 100 and 120 people that sign in every food pantry. So clearly, there was a need, and we're trying to fulfill it.
This has been Ryan Younglove reporting for The Splash.
To find out more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/food pantry. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce prides itself on fostering relationships between our local businesses, and recently they joined forces with neighboring chambers to take that interaction to the next level. We sent reporter Lauren Snyland to find out more.
In order for businesses to maximize their success, it's necessary to venture outside their local area for networking opportunities. And that's exactly what some West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce members did recently at the Neighborly Networking event in Farmington Hills.
The event that we are at today is a joint chamber event with the Farmington Hills Chamber, the Southfield Chamber, and the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. I think the benefit of any West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce member to come and mingle today is that they are going to expose their business to potential other customers or clients that might not know that they exist.
It's a common misconception that businesses must reside in a city or township to be a member of that Chamber of Commerce, but that is not the case.
So chambers of commerce typically represent businesses that are in their local community. However, businesses from anywhere in the country can join a chamber of commerce, and they tend to do that because they're looking to do business with folks or other businesses that are in that community. So, for instance, this Holiday Inn or Johnny's Steakhouse is a chamber member both of Southfield and Farmington Hills, and as well as West Bloomfield. So it made sense for us to do a joint event. We like doing these joint events because it gets a bunch of people from a different region, different areas of the region to come together and network, so you're not networking with the same people.
And even though on this evening they are traveling into a neighboring community, most West Bloomfield business owners think there is still no other place they'd rather be.
I love West Bloomfield. It's just the mix of the different cultures and different people that live here, the friendliness of everyone.
Reporting for The Splash, this is Lauren Snyland.
For more information, feel free to stop by our website at civiccentertv.com/chamber mix and mingle. Coming up, we make final preparations for the general election and then a new episode of Sidewalk Talk.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV. now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
And welcome back to The Splash. I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for being with us. The general election is right around the corner, and it comes with some key differences from previous elections in our community and beyond. Reporter Tyler Keefe joined the West Bloomfield Clerk's office to uncover those details.
With the elections right around the corner, West Bloomfield is making its final preparations, training its staff, and informing the community about the differences between the primary and the general election. When West Bloomfield heads to the polls on November 6th, they do so with some key differences that set the general election, apart from the primaries, which occurred in August. Most notably, the absence of straight party voting, which will require residents to take some extra moments to fill out a fuller, more robust ballot.
Straight party voting, or voting the ballot for all representatives of your selected party, is not available this November. The best tool to help keep the lines moving is to request a sample ballot from your local clerk's office or the Secretary of State's Michigan Voter Information Center website before Election Day.
And for residents voting absentee in this year's election, the clerk's office will be open during special hours to help provide residents with assistance and answer any questions that they may have.
By law, local clerk's offices are open the Saturday preceding each election from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for absentee voting. The Saturday prior to the election is the last day we can mail absentee ballots. Although you can still request them on the Monday preceding the election, you must vote the ballot at Town Hall on that Monday.
But above all else, we are reminded that Election Day is one of the most sacred in all of America, and our election workers do their best to make the experience smooth and swift. However, it is always best to exercise patience at the polls.
Please exercise patience and understanding with your poll workers. We do our best to recruit and train them. However, it is a demanding job with few opportunities to practice. If you have a question, ask them. They will contact the precinct chairperson or the clerk's office if necessary. Please exercise consideration of fellow voters by following the lines, respecting individuals' privacy and their voting booths, using secrecy sleeves as you walk from your voting booth to the tabulator, and removing any candidate literature from your voting booth.
For more information on everything you need to know for the election, contact your local clerk's office. In West Bloomfield, I'm Tyler Keefe, reporting for The Splash.
For more information, you can visit civiccentertv.com/election 2018. Now it's time for Sidewalk Talk, where reporter Samana Sheikh asks the people of Greater West Bloomfield about hitting the road.
The last road trip I took was to Seattle. We went to the first Starbucks to ever exist. What about you? Where did you go?
I got 500 miles of open road and I'm driving down the highway to you.
Last road trip I took was Washington, D.C. I drove there all through the night, played Travis Scott. It was pretty fun. And D.C. is absolutely beautiful.
Chicago?
No, it was Canada.
Well, I went to Chicago. As a family, we went to Canada.
I went to Cedar Point with a few friends.
Oh, that's fun. What's your favorite ride at Cedar Point?
If I were to choose one, it would probably be Gemini. That was really fun.
Actually, the very last one was to Stratford just last weekend, as a matter of fact, and we saw 3 quite delightful plays.
7th grade, we went to Philadelphia, and that was really fun. We went with the school, so we drove the bus. There was 13 hours. We had 3 buses. We had so much fun. We just visited all the historical events there, and we went and where all the documents and stuff were written. We went in all those little places, and we went on a boat ride, and we went all around the harbor and stuff. It was so cool.
I went up north, and I went to Sleeping Bear Dunes.
Oh, that's pretty. That's very, very pretty. So what's the last road trip you went on?
The last road trip, Chicago. We like to go to Chicago. We have a lot of friends there, and so, yeah.
Well, I had eating lobster in Maine on my bucket list, so eating the wonderful lobster in Maine was the best part. Sitting overlooking the ocean, it was beautiful. That's what I went there for.
That's so nice. Is the lobster fresher? Is it nicer?
The lobster is sweeter, fresher, better, tastes like the sweetest crab legs you would ever want to taste.
Last road trip I went on was to Toronto. I went with some friends, and the whole deal was this was going to be a day trip, and we were big foodies. So we went to Toronto and hit up as many food restaurants as we could.
Awesome. So any specific suggestions?
Aussies. We went there specifically because I think they rated top 100 restaurants in the Toronto area for their burgers. Amazing burgers. We each ordered 5 different burgers that we split amongst ourselves. It was amazing.
That's awesome. Wonderful responses, West Bloomfield. See you again in another episode of Sidewalk Talk.
For more episodes of Sidewalk Talk on demand, visit civiccentertv.com/sidewalk talk. Now it's time for the Civic Center TV event update, where we provide you with upcoming events around Greater West Bloomfield. And for more events coming up, you can visit civiccentertv.com/events. The Share Support Group meets Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Henry Ford Maple Grove Center in West Bloomfield. It happens from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. This is where you can share concerns, have help and support from your peers, neighbors, and helpful experts. Address your needs, renew your views to cope, and empower rather than enable your family members in the supportive adult group centered on adult addiction and recovery education as well. This group is offered only to those with 6 months or more of sobriety from alcohol and other drugs. For more information, call Lisa Kaplan at 248-661-6100. The Janice Cherrick Gallery presents Outside In, Artist of the Detroit Landscape, now through December 6th at the Janice Cherrick Gallery at the Jewish Community Center in West Bloomfield. The collection of artists represents the diverse nature of the artistic movement in Detroit. Each artist has created work in their respective medium and style, using the ever-evolving city as their canvas. Enjoy the sights of this new exhibit for free and enjoy Familiar Faces by Kat Francis in the side gallery. Gallery hours are Monday through Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Thursday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 4 p.m. For more information, call 248-432-5579. The History of the Sherwood Forest, November 1st from 7 to 8 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. The Sherwood Forest recently celebrated its 100th anniversary, and Gail Rodwin interviewed residents and researched through decades of news clippings and Forest Association records to write the story of the Sherwood Forest, 100 Years a Neighborhood. You can learn more about original residents, auto executives, and families that migrated to Metro Detroit in the 1960s and 1970s. This seminar is free to attend, and you can get more information by calling 248-232-2290 or visiting wblib.org. West Bloomfield Lakers football in district final playoff game against Detroit Catholic Central. That happens Friday, November 2nd at 7 p.m. at West Bloomfield. 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM, will be carrying the game, and Dave Scott and Tyler Keefe with live coverage and analysis. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. and our coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Plus, there will be a live post-game show after the final whistle. Listen live on 89.3 WBLD, online at lakesfm.com, and on Civic Center TV and WBTV. Board Gaming with Cats, November 3rd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Meow Town Lounge. Join the Meow Town Lounge for a fun day of board gaming with many adoptable cats. There will be several games available, and you are welcome to bring your own as well. Food and beverages are welcome, and there is no fee to attend. However, donations are accepted and encouraged and help support the care of these adoptable cats. Register in advance at meowtownlounge.org or send an email to meowtownlounge@gmail.com. Heroes Appreciation Breakfast, November 9th from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. at the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Join the community as it honors and recognizes veterans. This is our community's way to show appreciation for the hard work and sacrifices made by those in the military. The event is open to both veterans and non-veterans. Veterans and one guest can attend free of charge. For non-veterans, attendance cost is $15. For more information, visit wbparks.org. The Chaldean Cultural Center open hours Fridays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Chaldean Cultural Center and Shenandoah Country Club. Learn about the history, traditions, and culture of the Chaldean people. $5 for a self-guided tour and $10 for a guided tour. Schedule a tour and find more info at chaldeanculturalcenter.org. And that's this week's highlights. You can find out more events online at civiccentertv.com/events and everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. And we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be speaking with Howard Tapper, CEO of Tappers, coming right up.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything Greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programming such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash, as well as coverage of local events and meetings in Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can also watch all of your local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Civic Center TV has gone social. Now it's easier than ever to watch, save, like, and share our videos online. See what's happening in your neighborhood, on the streets, and on the web at civiccentertv.com. Be a part of the conversation and get involved. We would love to hear from you. For links to our social media pages, visit us at our website or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back. We are joined by Howard Tapper, CEO of Tappers. And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
And okay, so it's that time of year. It is the Share the Warmth Tappers Annual Coat Drive.
Right.
And you are in the 26th year.
You are 100% right.
So what do people need to know? And how, so this has been going on for 26 years. And first of all, tell me how important this is to you.
This coat drive is one of many communal projects and philanthropic efforts that Tappers and our family is involved with each and every year. This particular coat drive has really meant a lot to so many children and adults throughout our Metro Detroit community that you can't believe the stories and the letters that we get from teachers, from clergy, from actually individual children saying, "Thank you so much. This is the first new coat I've ever had."
And it's important to say that these coats go to everyone. Like you mentioned, it's just not for kids. I mean, these are for adults, senior citizens.
Senior citizens, people that live on the street. Heart to Heart is an organization that works down, I believe, primarily downtown. We've given coats to them. We've given coats to Orchard Children's Center, Greater Grace. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So Greater Grace Centers of Hope.
Greater Grace Centers of Hope.
Mm-hmm.
So many different individual schools and teachers call us for their individual classrooms. I happened to be at a community-wide dinner last night, and a woman walks up to me and says, "Oh, thank you so much. I want to tell you how much my class appreciated the coats." I got to be honest, I didn't recognize her, but it's gone throughout the community, and we're very happy. We generally raise over 2,000 or collect over 2,000 coats a year, and that's along with hats, gloves, and we've had so many generous people over the years. Actually, we have a group of women that make hats and scarves for the kids. These are more children's,
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's really anybody in need. Just to tell you a little story, we've had people call us with really special needs, either where they need perhaps an extra large coat,
Mm-hmm.
a triple X or a 4X. Those coats are hard to find, and not a little
Right.
bit more expensive. We've gone out and purchased coats for
that individual.
Actually an individual. So what we do is we have some community partners,
Mm-hmm.
and they help us sometimes financially, and sometimes we have a coat box that we have drop off in their facilities. So we do that with several schools around, our area.
Okay.
And in our 3 stores, we have a drop-off box.
So those drop-off boxes are at your stores?
They're at our stores.
Okay.
I know they're in West Bloomfield schools. They're at the Hill Day School. They're at the Frankel Jewish Academy. And several other locations. If someone would be interested, they could call our store and we'd be happy to tell them.
Okay. And then also, though, there are financial donations that you accept as well.
Right. We do accept financial donations so that we can go out and purchase coats. We have worked and are working this year with several closeout vendors out of New York that have either overstock or closeouts that they sell us at a very inexpensive rate, and we're able to buy really nice quality coats for a very reasonable price. And also we shop the city. We shop we shop the big box stores and look for bargains, and sometimes they'll help us also with an additional discount because we're buying a quantity of coats at one time.
Okay.
And I'm sorry.
No. So these coats will be passed out before December.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, we try to get them. Yes, before the before the real cold season starts in.
Because the temperatures have already really started to dip.
Right, and we've already collected several hundred coats, but really we've got a very, very large goal this year.
What is your goal?
Well, they said 5,000 coats. I think that's a bit aggressive, but
you can do it. Come on, you can do it.
I'm hoping we can, and with being on this program, I'm hoping we'll get some additional support.
Okay, so you've already collected a few hundred.
Yes.
And you think that the goal is 5,000.
Yes. And we've collected, so far, we've got some nice cash donations. We're ahead of last year. And I know 3,000 coats we're definitely going to get.
Okay.
But really with the right support, we'll be able to hit our goal.
Well, you know what? Let's challenge the community and let's say we can do this.
That would be great.
Right?
That would be wonderful.
All right. So to the community out there, let's say 5,000 coats, right?
That would be great.
All right.
And really, they can be children's coats, they can be adult coats, they can be jackets. We also look for scarves. We look for good gloves. We can take boots. So because so many kids, you can't believe the stories, again, that are told to us that children don't have a proper pair of boots to wear, in the snow. So we look for all those warm weather, cold weather, warm pieces of clothing to help.
That they need to survive.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Again, those donation boxes are at your locations.
Our locations.
At the stores in Somerset.
12 Oaks Mall, Novi Mall,
okay.
And in West Bloomfield at the Orchard Mall.
Okay, thank you so much. And we will look forward to hearing that you made that 5,000 coat goal.
Well, thank you.
All right.
I really appreciate you having us.
Oh, no, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Again, we have been joined by Howard Tapper, CEO of Tappers. And now it's time for The Biz, where Lawrence Nyling got an insider's perspective on protecting and maintaining your vision and eye health.
In this glorious age of computers, tablets, and smartphones, a drawback to these technologies is the stress and strain they place on our eyes. Here in West Bloomfield, Henry Ford Optimize is doing its part to combat these and all eye issues. And the key to keeping good optical health starts with a yearly eye exam.
The eye exams are more than just checking for your glasses prescription or contact lens prescription. It's more about checking the eye health as well. So that's why it's important to come in even if you've never had a problem with your eyes. You passed every vision test at school. You passed your driver's test. You may have issues in the back of the eye that you may not have symptoms of, so you wouldn't necessarily know to come in. Where we're checking these things early on to make sure that doesn't become a problem for you.
Which brings us to our cell phones and what precautions can we take to prevent any damage from our new national pastime?
The light that comes from these devices, the LED light, actually can have a form of blue light, which can possibly, there are studies still out there on this, possibly cause damage to the back of the eye to put the eyes more at risk for macular degeneration later in life. So the closer you are and the brighter the screen, there's much more risk. So I tell our patients, keep the devices farther away from you, not so bright of a screen. If you put it on the night shift, that's actually easier on your eyes, and to limit the hours that you're looking at the screens, especially children. I tell them all the time, really, unless you need to use these devices for school activities or anything like that, no more than a couple hours a day on the screen is best.
And Dr. Mattia explains an easy trick which may help prevent digital eye strain.
Follow the 20-20-20 rule. In the workplace, you should set up your workstation for good computer vision ergonomics. Your monitor should be about 20 inches away from you, and the center of your screen should be about 5 inches below your eye level. And all of these things can help cut down on problems like eye strain, blurred vision, and dry eyes.
Along with hundreds of frames for prescription glasses, Optimize also features a huge inventory of what is often an overlooked aspect of eye health, sunglasses.
Anytime you're out in the daylight, you should wear sunglasses with 100% UV 400 protection. This can help reduce your chances of getting cataracts or macular degeneration. Even though it isn't sunny every day in Michigan, UV protection is needed even when it's cloudy outside. And polarized lenses are especially great for snow and water sports to cut reflections.
For Civic Center TV, I'm Lawrence Nyland.
For more episodes of The Biz, visit civiccentertv.com/thebiz. And now it's time for our final segment of the week, for Person of the Week, where we honor people in the community inspiring and providing toward others. And this week it is Mesa Racho, owner and director of the Tutoring Center in West Bloomfield. Inspired by a childhood experience with a tutor and the experiences of her daughter in school, Mesa decided to open the Tutoring Center in West Bloomfield just under 4 years ago. Not a teacher by trade, Mesa wanted to help children, much like her daughter, who found focusing on school, learning lessons difficult to develop, and strategies to improve their comprehension and skills that would benefit them in the classroom and far beyond. Mesa enjoys working with children and their families to get to the bottom of what each and every child that enters the Tutoring Center struggles with in the classroom, and providing them with guidance and methods to improve their learning and, more importantly, their confidence in their abilities in and outside of the classroom. Mesa's compassion, patience, and understanding have guided this architect to build confidence and inspiration in her students and their families. She adores the camaraderie, friendliness, and caring nature of our community, something she strives to build on each and every day, which is why she is our Person of the Week. And if you know someone who is making a positive difference, let us know and send an email to thesplash@civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate and acknowledge those making a difference in our community, and we appreciate your suggestions. That's all for this week's show. You can watch new episodes Mondays at 5:30 p.m. at Civic Center TV on Comcast 15, AT&T 99, and online in HD at civiccentertv.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Civic Center TV. And for more Metro Detroit news, you can listen to Greg Bowman and I weekdays from 2 to 7 p.m. on WWJ News Radio 950. And for all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for watching The Splash.